So I have a question for you. What does healing mean to you? Well, if you're not sure, today's show is going to help you answer that question because we are going to be diving deep into what healing is and what you can do to heal yourself and heal the world. Hey, I'm Dr. Ellen, the Midlife Whisperer, and you are listening to Quantum Joy Alignment on the Enlightened World Network. This is the show where we really combine spirituality and healing and science to help you to reach a higher vibrational level. So, to really embrace who you are, to elevate your emotions, your body, your spirit, and to enlighten yourself. And we're at a really powerful time today. The sun just went into Pisces, which is really the most enlightened sign. It's the most spiritual of all the signs. And we also have a really profound astrological conjunction of Chiron and the north node of the moon. So I'll be talking about that, but it makes it a really powerful time to talk about healing. So today's show is going to delve all into healing, and I would love for you to put in the chat box, what does healing mean to you? When you think about healing, what comes up for you? And I've been thinking about this a lot lately. Earlier this week, I think on Saturday, I was going through my Facebook page. And I know Facebook often puts up old memories, and they put up a picture of me from 6 years ago. And this was a time in my life where, boy, I needed a lot of healing. I had just left my ex-husband, so I was going through a divorce. And this picture has me with this cat that I was living with, who actually was very sickly and would have to be put down. I didn't know that, a month down the road from the picture, I would go blind. My retina detached 3 times. And then a couple years after that, I would get breast cancer, and I would go through all of these really intense healing crises and learned a lot through all of it about what healing is and how I can heal myself and others. And so I want to say, just to bring in the idea of self-compassion, which is such a big part of quantum joy alignment, this idea of treating yourself the way you would a good friend, that if you are going through stuff, particularly if you are a midlife woman, my goodness, it's just so normal. I don't think I know a single woman at midlife who isn't going through something. So if you're going through something, join the club. I think in the last, couple of weeks, I've been back in Vermont. I live half my life in Costa Rica and then half my life here in Vermont. And I've been hanging out with people and connecting with some new friends, some old friends, and everybody I have connected with is going through something. I met, one woman who is a paraplegic after being in an accident. Another friend of mine's son OD'd. I know I have another friend who also lost her son to fentanyl. Met people who've had cancer, concussions, all kinds of things. And, you're probably thinking, my goodness, where does this fit in with the quantum joy piece? Well, when we can heal ourselves, when we can really connect with the deep meaning of healing, that's when we can open up to more joy. When we do the grieving, when we do the work, when we heal ourselves, we feel so much more of everything. So today I want to give you some tools to help you heal. Again, talking about Pisces as well as Chiron conjunct the North Node. And I want to start off talking a little bit about what healing is. So when you think about the word healing, the root of the word is the same root as healing, health, wholeness. It comes from the Old English help, wholeness, a being whole, sound, or well. And it also comes from a Norse word that means holy or sacred. So when we heal ourselves, when we are able to shine a light on our wounds, whether that is something happening physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually, we find this place of balance and wholeness. So healing is the first thing I want to say is healing happens on the level of body, mind, heart, and spirit. I also think it happens on the level of relationships because people are in our lives to shine a mirror on us, to help us heal and grow and to have those supportive connections. So that's the first thing, is that healing happens on many different levels. When we think about conventional medicine, what often happens is you go to the doctor, right? They tell you that something is wrong, and then they give you a medicine to cure it. That's not the same as healing, because healing happens often, it starts out on a spiritual level. I'll use, myself in this example. When I came down with cancer back in April of 2022, I really feel like there was a spiritual component to it. I had experienced a lot of heartache. My breast cancer was right over my heart on my left side. A lot of heartache, a lot of trauma in my life. And so cancer is when cells go awry. My own body's innate wisdom, the energy of my body, its ability to heal itself, was out of whack. And so cells in my body were able to go rogue. That's what happens with cancer, is when cells are not behaving normally and they start to grow, and the body's wisdom is not in connection with the cancer cells. So there was certainly, where there was a physical component, right? It showed up as a small tumor, and I needed to have that removed. And I also did some radiation and some chemotherapy for it. But also there was a really strong spiritual connection and things that I needed to learn. So my big lessons of healing, not just healing my body and staying in remission with breast cancer, what I needed to learn was to navigate this experience of breast cancer as a well-being. And this is a very important part of healing work. So often we are looking at the negative. So looking at, I want the cancer to go away, or I want, if you need to heal your finances, saying, well, I want to stop being in debt. We need to turn that around. If we want to come into quantum joy alignment, we need to change our mindset and say, I want to live with abundance. I want to be a well-being. And that was really kind of my MO during my breast cancer treatment, that I wanted to navigate breast cancer as a well-being. I never felt sick. I guess I was a little tired from all of the treatments, definitely wore me out, and having to go into the hospital every day for basically a month. I was running a little tired, but really the rest of my body was working great. And so if you are doing some healing with your body, how do you navigate it as a well-being? And then how do you bring your mind and your emotions and your spirit in alignment to help you with this healing process? So another example, when I went blind, my lesson there was really faith over fear. I had to really quiet my mind. I had so much anxiety because my retina detached 3 times. That picture I referred to earlier, this retinal detachment, happened as I was going through a divorce. It happened about, I would say, 3 or 4 months into leaving my ex-husband. And so incredibly scary. Literally, my right eye would just go black, and I couldn't see anything. And it happened again and again and again, 3 times. Every time it happened, I had all of this fear. So again, that's that emotional, even spiritual component of needing to pull faith, believing deeply that I was going to get my eyesight back. And my eyesight is pretty good. I still have a little issues with some of my peripheral vision. I can't drive at night, but I can actually, navigate the world and see pretty well. But I know for me, that was that piece of faith where I needed to bring my spirit in, where I really needed to lean on God, on spirit, and believe that I was going to be healed. That's another piece of healing. Even if we are utilizing whatever modalities we gravitate towards, whether that's conventional medicine, whether that's complementary, whether we're using herbs or sound healing or acupuncture or, aromatherapy, whatever we choose to do, it's really all about finding those modalities that work best for you. And that was a big lesson for me as I was navigating my breast cancer diagnosis, is that I pulled from so many different modalities. I had a functional medicine doctor, I had a naturopath, I had an a OD doctor, and then my conventional team. I also did some acupuncture. So find out, if you're doing this healing work, and again, Pisces season is a powerful time to do that. Find out what modalities work for you. And I would love to know, if you are listening, I'd love for you to put in the chat box what has been your healing experience? How do you define healing? For me, I define it as coming into balance, coming into a place of wholeness. And that balance place is always shifting. I was working with a client last week, and she was saying she was doing yoga and she was way off balance. And I think balance is about being able to see kind of into the future, keeping our eye in front of us and what we're doing moving forward. So healing is also about coming into balance, balancing our bodies so we feel energized, but also that we feel relaxed, balancing our minds so we feel peaceful and calm rather than stressed or anxious, balancing our emotions so that we really have more joy, but also we're holding ourselves if we are experiencing some healing on the emotional level, some grieving, whether we've lost someone or we've lost a relationship, doing that grieving so that we can open up to all our emotions, and then really reaching for the spiritual connection that helps us to feel balanced and whole. So, again, healing happens on the level of body, mind, heart, and spirit. It impacts our entire being, not just us physically. So give you a couple of examples of how healing, we need to heal not just the body, but we also need to heal the emotions and the mind and also the spirit. Imagine that you're in a car accident and you heal your body, right? Maybe you break some bones or something else happens, but you also have to heal emotionally because you might be scared or feel anxious about driving, or maybe you're experiencing some trauma and the memory of what happens keeps coming up for you. So healing has to happen on lots of levels. Or let's say you just ended a relationship that was important to you. Maybe intellectually, that you needed to leave that relationship and it needed to end, but maybe, there's healing that needs to happen on the emotional level or even the physical level, that there was some level of physical heartache. So the body, the mind, the heart, the spirit are all interrelated. So if we're really going to do some deep healing work, we need to integrate all of the parts. I want to let you know too, if you are struggling with healing, reach out to me at the midlifewhisperer.com. That's the midlifewhisperer.com. I really have a holistic practice where I utilize the physical modalities, things like nutrition and stress reduction with emotions. I teach mindful self-compassion, which is an emotional regulatory technique to help you to treat yourself like a good friend and really heal on that emotional level. And then I'm also a Reiki master, so bringing in that spiritual connection. So let's talk a little bit about how to heal. And again, if you're watching, I would love to know what modalities have worked for you. What have you healed yourself from? Let me know in the comments. If you are enjoying this too, please like this show, whether it's YouTube or Facebook, so that more people can find it. So here are the various steps for healing. First of all, there's got to be an acceptance, right? So often when something happens to us, whether we're healing our bodies, our minds, our spirits, our emotions, sometimes we might blame shift or say, why is this happening to me? We go through those stages of grief, maybe denying it, blame shifting. You have to come into this place of acceptance. And I know that was, I think, a little easier for me with the retinal detachment, because it was so like, you got to take care of this immediately, because when the retina detaches, and it really is something that is very timely, because if the retina is detached too long, it actually doesn't get the nutrition it needs and you can truly go blind. But with the breast cancer, there was a sense of, oh my God, how did I fail? How could I get cancer when I am a board certified health and wellness coach? I'm a nutritionist, I'm a psychologist. And like, why is this happening to me? I don't deserve this. I kept thinking about blaming myself, feeling a lot of shame instead of getting into the space of acceptance. So when we're healing, one of the first things is you just have to accept the way that things are, which isn't easy to do, but it really opens up the doors to the next steps of healing. Then the next step is taking action. After you accept what's going on, you can really change your thoughts and your story around the healing. So I'll give you another example. When I left through my divorce, I had this story in my mind that I broke up the family. And, recently I've kind of changed my story that the family was broken and I needed to leave and the family needed to heal on another level. So changing the thoughts that you have about what happened to you. So for, breast cancer, I stopped blaming myself, stopped with the why is this happening or this shouldn't be happening, and just accepted what is and really saw some of the silver linings, which for me was really about understanding, loving myself on a deeper level, and also curing some of the healing some of the issues I had around workaholism. So changing your thoughts around the issue that you're trying to heal, then really bringing in that self-compassion. So self-compassion, again, is treating yourself like a good friend. So being kind to yourself rather than judgmental, being loving and understanding towards yourself and forgiving yourself is so important, right? So often we're going through this healing journey, healing crisis, and we want to beat ourselves up, or we have someone else in our life that we are blaming for this, and we need to forgive ourselves and forgive other people in the situation so that we can move forward. And then the next piece is really having a new lens to view your experience. So for me, this is shifting from being a human with a soul to being a soul having a human experience. I'll say that again, taking a soul perspective. And that's really important with quantum joy alignment, that you see the bigger picture, that you are a soul having a human experience, and everything is truly happening for your highest good. So even if you don't understand it through the lens of your humanness, you see that, okay, my soul incarnated for some reason to have this experience, and there's going to be some learning, some growth that's going to happen. And then, moving forward, learning from the healing and using it to change your life experience, to think about how can I help other people. So I love helping women who are going through various levels of crises, whether that's divorce, whether that's breast cancer, whether that is menopause. I met another woman who had a brain tumor. It was benign, but it affected her brain, and she was really having trouble finding her footing and being able to teach her some about self-compassion, that she can't change always her circumstances, but she can be kinder to herself and kinder to her body. That's another big piece of healing. If you're experiencing a need to heal on the physical level, please don't beat your body up and be angry at your body for this happening. It's so important to literally hold your body and love your body so that it can truly heal. The body has an incredible ability to heal itself. So, if we cut our finger, the energy of healing just happens. The body is very wise. It has this quantum intelligence. It knows what to do. And we can really support our bodies by loving our bodies, and also by having good nutrition, by eating a whole foods, plant-based diet, getting enough protein, getting enough rest. It's so important to rest as you are healing and not push yourself, so that your energy can go into healing. To work on your stress. So if you are stressed out and you're doing healing work, you're in this fight and flight. You need to switch into a rest and digest place. If you're struggling with this, let me know and I will reach out with some resources for you. But if we're in this place of high cortisol, where we're stressed out, what happens is the body is creating a lot of inflammation, which we need if we are being chased by a saber-toothed tiger. If we've had some kind of wound, the body needs to go into that emergency response. But if we're doing longer term healing, we need to be in that rest and digest place. And sleep is also really important. I meet so many people who are struggling with their sleep, and this is a really great time to do more rest, to work on your sleep hygiene. So we need to take action. So we need to accept what's happening in our lives. We need to take action, whatever that looks like for you in terms of healing, finding those healing modalities that work for you, changing your story, loving yourself, practicing self-compassion, and finally allowing. So it's acceptance, action, and then allowing the healing process to unfold and keeping the faith that everything is going to work out for your highest good. So I want to talk a little bit about what's going on astrologically. It is a very, very potent day. If you were listening to this live and it's Monday, we just entered Pisces season. And then we also have a really powerful connection between Chiron, who is the wounded healer, and the north node of the moon. The north node of the moon is where we are going karmically, and this is happening in the sign of Aries. So it's a lot about kind of healing that warrior, healing any kind of toxic masculinity, healing places in your life where you haven't been your best self, where you've done things where you've been a bit of an a-hole, right? Where you kind of regret, God, why did I act that way? Why did I do it that way? I know I have been there. I'm not proud of all the things that I've done in my life, but this is a really powerful opportunity to heal that part of yourself. And it's helpful if you do know your birth chart to see what house that's in, so you know where that Chiron transit is happening in your life. So Pisces season is a really profound season. It is the last astrological sign in the zodiac before we start everything again with Aries. Aries is all about the warrior and rock and roll and gets things started. Pisces is about like pulling it all together. Whereas Aquarius, and we have three personal planets in Aquarius and Pluto, so we have a lot still going on in Aquarius, is about the collective and where I fit in and innovation. Pisces is really the spiritual sign of where you see, how am I connected with all that is? You are part of the universe, and you are, a fractal of the universe, and you are the whole universe expressing itself. So connecting with who we are on the deepest level in terms of our consciousness. So it's a profound time to heal, to do this healing, that do the kind of work that you need to do. And I know we all need to do various kinds of healing work to connect with your intuition. So Pisces is a really powerful season to spend some time connecting with your intuition, and then to surrender and go with the flow, to not feel that you need to control everything, but to be open to what is next. And also, what do I need to close out before we jump into spring and Aries season? And we've got a full moon that's happening, I believe, on Saturday in Virgo, to think about, what do I need to close out in my life? What are those habits, those behaviors, those relationships that I need to change? What kind of healing work could I kind of capstone and finish up this season before we move into Aries season? So great time for healing, intuition, surrender, and going with the flow. And I want to talk a little bit more about Pisces and I'm sorry, more about Chiron. Chiron was the wounded healer. So Chiron was, he was a great teacher. He was a centaur. So he was half horse, half human. And he was wounded and in incredible pain. And the gods decided to put him out of his misery and put him up into the sky. And so he really represents the wounded healer. And so these are wounds that each of us have. It's based on our birth charts. So those of us who were born between, I'm just taking my notes here, but those of us who were born between March 1960 and March 1968, that's me, we have our Chiron in Pisces. So that is about self-care, healing self-care, and the immaterial world. So I think about this, since I understand this myself because I have Chiron in Pisces. It's really all about healing that people pleaser, being okay with doing the self-care that you need, wanting to help people and be of service without being in servitude. And I know myself, I put so much energy into healing others that I wasn't doing the work in healing myself. And each of us has to heal ourselves, and each of us needs to do the self-care that works for us so that we can support ourselves. So if you were born between March 1960 and March 1968, and you've got this Chiron in Pisces, what this Chiron wound is telling you to do is really work on that people pleaser. Let that people pleaser go. Work on giving yourself the self-care that you need to feel whole. And then a lot of people who follow me are also experiencing their Chiron return. So every 55 years or so, we experience Chiron coming back to the place of your birth. And Chiron in Aries is April 1968 to June 1976. So if you're born between those years, what you are healing is your value and self-worth. I know a lot of women who are in the kind of the Gen X are experiencing this, healing your self-worth. And that, I think, is a huge piece of healing in general, is realizing that you are of value just because you're you, not because of what you do, but just because of who you are, that you are part of the divine expressing itself. You are a beautiful, conscious being. And so really owning your wealth, which is so important for coming into quantum joy alignment, owning your value, owning your self-worth. Because when we own our value and our self-worth, we're putting that message out to the universe, and we're really attracting what is truly in our best interest. So wherever you are in terms of your Chiron, in terms of your healing, the last thing I want to say before I pull some cards and we do a little meditation to help elevate your healing of your body, your mind, your heart, and your spirit. Do your healing from a place of where you want to go and a place of strength. I mentioned that already about, if you're healing your finances, do it from a place of, I want to live with abundance and prosperity. If you are working, a lot of people I meet, because I'm a dietitian, want to lose weight, but instead of focusing on what you don't want, which is the weight, focus on what you do want, which is a healthy, vibrant body, more energy, fantastic health. If you are working on relationships, get out of that mindset of, I don't want a bad relationship, I'm always attracting the wrong person. Get into this place of, I value myself, I am worthy of attracting the right person into my life. But do any healing work from this place of what it is you truly not want, not from this place of where the deficit is. It's very important from a law of attraction perspective, from a quantum joy alignment perspective, because everything happens on the level of energy. And if we're coming from this place of deficit, that is what we are going to continue to attract. All right, let's pull a couple of cards. If you would like a card, let me know. I'm going to go over to the chat. Hey, Robin, good to see you. Good to see you from Mississippi. So I'm going to pull some cards. And again, if you are watching, let me know what healing means to you. I'd love to know if you know where your Chiron is, and what modalities do you use to heal yourself? All right, let's see what we need to know today. So I usually divide this into 3 piles. Okay, what do we need to know to really amplify the healing work that we are doing? All right, so the first card is Temperance upside down. And so what an appropriate card. So Temperance is really all about coming in balance. If I turn it right up so you can see it, I think first thinking about, what are you doing in terms of engaging with the angelic realm, engaging with God, spirit, source, wherever you are on that level, remembering that healing, starts on the spiritual level, calling on those angelic beings that really can help you connect with your healing. And then, it's also, we've got one foot in the water. So really connecting with your emotions. Emotions are our GPS device. So it's all about connecting with your emotions that can really help you to grow the life you want. I love this road here to the sun. When we're able to get in alignment and we're able to find that balance, find that temperance, we are able to create a life that's very lush. I think these are daffodils, right? The first flowers that bloom in the spring. So I think this card, since it was upside down, really saying, how do you come back into balance with your body, your mind, your heart, your spirit? What does that look like for you? Part of that answer is really delving into your emotions, which is all of this water here. The moon is also in Cancer today. So I don't know about you, but I am feeling all of this emotional energy. So getting in touch with the angelic realm, getting in touch with your emotions, and using your emotions to really water what it is that you need to move forward in your life. So often we're scared of our emotions. We feel like, oh my God, this emotion is going to overwhelm me. I'm going to drown in it. And so what we often do is we distract ourselves. So we might, eat too much, have an extra glass of Chardonnay, binge on Netflix, just shop, do things, engage in behaviors instead of really feeling our emotions. So turn it right side up by really feeling your emotions during this Pisces season. Set an intention to feel your emotions and also connect with your higher self or God, source, spirit, angels, whatever it is that you look to. All right, then the next card we have here is the Seven of Pentacles, also upside down. So taking a bit of a pause and seeing, looking at all you've done in the world. So maybe looking at your past and seeing what kind of healing work I've already done in my life, taking stock of where you've been, what your strengths are, what you can do moving forward to help you heal, and just like taking a breath and just seeing, I think so often we see all of the deficits, all the things we haven't done, what's not good about us, but taking a moment and really take in what is awesome about you, what's the work you've done in the world, and maybe thinking about how this healing work that I'm experiencing, how I'm really getting to know myself on a deeper level, how that might help to heal the world. The main way that all of us can help to heal the world is by doing our own healing work, and then also using that healing work to connect with other people who are experiencing something that we've already experienced and healed from. And finally, we have the Page of Swords. So a really fun card. So bringing your mind a freshness. The Page of Swords is all about, I like to think about him as, it might be actually be a female as well, just knocking it out of the park. I almost feel like that sword is almost like a bat that they're like, come on, let's have a new mindset. Let's have a fresh perspective on all of this. Let's begin with beginner's mind. And even though Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, I feel so much that when we are doing work, healing work, and we are finding new healing modalities, it's so important to come to it with this sense of beginner's mind and also that sense of surrender that I'm going to just be open to what it is that is coming my way. I'm going to be open to new modalities, new ways of thinking, changing my mindset. So I hope that was helpful for you. If you would like a card, please let me know. I'm going to go ahead and check real quickly and see if anybody has requested a card in the restream. All right, so let's go ahead and do a meditation to help you heal. All right, so we're going to connect with our hearts. So just go ahead and close your eyes. Come into a comfortable seated position. There's nowhere else you need to be. There's nothing else you need to be doing. And just taking a couple of deep breaths. So just experiencing the inhalation and the exhalation. Noticing your breath, what it feels to breathe in and out, maybe focusing a little bit more on the exhalation than the inhalation. And then just connecting with your body. What is it like to be in a body today? How is your body feeling? And just connecting with your body and maybe asking, what does my body need today to come to more of a place of balance, to heal? And just notice what comes up for you. Maybe this is a season to change a habit in your life. Maybe you need to do a little bit more movement and stretching. Maybe you need more sleep. Maybe you need to shift up your diet. What does my body need? Maybe you need to or want to go and see a healer, or maybe a massage therapist or a Reiki practitioner, or get some acupuncture. So what does my body need? Now connecting with your heart. So connecting with your heart and your chest area. Breathing a little deeper than normal, a little slower. Just breathing in and out of your heart, breathing in compassion. Sending yourself compassion, maybe bringing your hand to your heart. Just experiencing the warmth of your hand. And as you connect with this beautiful organ, ask your heart, what am I feeling today? What am I feeling? Just notice what comes up for you, the rainbow of emotions that pop up. Whatever you're feeling, see if you can soften your heart. Send yourself a little compassion, a little forgiveness, whatever you need. Asking your heart, what do I need to experience healing on all levels of my being? Again, noticing what you're feeling and notice, what do you need for healing? Notice what comes up for you. And I'm just sending you a little bit of Reiki energy to be open to receive what you need today. Just asking God's source spirit to bless everyone on this call, everyone in the replay who's watching the recording, that they would receive the healing and receive information about what they need to do to have the courage to face where they're broken, where their wounds are, and do the work necessary to heal and come to a higher place of quantum joy alignment. So just breathing into your heart, giving yourself permission to observe your feelings without feeling any need to fix things, control things. Maybe finding, what might I do to come to a place of more peace and balance in my life? And I'm just sending you more healing energy. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be at ease. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be at ease. May we all be safe. May we all be happy. May we all be at ease. May everyone in the world be safe. May they be happy. May they be healthy. May they be at ease. We'll take a moment and just set an intention. This season of Pisces, this time where Chiron is conjunct the north node of the moon, where you can shift your karma, you can shift old patterns. Set an intention to do some healing work, to discover what healing means to you, to discover what you need to do to come to a higher place in terms of your vibration, in terms of quantum joy alignment. Knowing that as you open up to all your feelings, you feel more of the high vibe feelings. When you heal yourself, you feel more of everything. You become more whole, more alive, more in alignment, and you're really able to create your best life. And then when you are ready, you can open your eyes, maybe wiggle your fingers and toes, connect with your physical space, and come back to the room. So thank you so much for being here today and watching the Quantum Joy Alignment Show on the Enlightened World Network. Let me know what you think about the show. If you want to reach out to me, just go to the midlifewhisperer.com. That's the midlifewhisperer.com. Thanks again, and I will see you next week.